Hey, all Terry fans back with a DVD review that I promised myself I would never do, but oh well. This is WWE Raw presents Backlash 2004. It was a great pay-per-view at the time. Let me read y'all the back. Sunday, April 18, 2004. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Based in possible odds against Triple H and Shawn Michaels, will Chris Benoit be able to go the distance and leave his hometown as champion? There's Triple H can Shawn Michaels a clothesline, Shawn Michaels over elbowing somebody, and Chris Benoit hitting Triple H on the sharpshooter. There's Kane, who wrestled Edge that night. I'll show you the inside before I read y'all the card. But this is pretty cool. This is just the matches. That was just the chapters. I'll go ahead and read them to you. Shelton Benjamin versus Ric Flair, who gave a great opening match. That's Ric Flair. Ric Flair was a guy who rarely had a bad match at the pay-per-views. Shelton Benjamin, who's a young guy, these two put on a great opening match. So I'm going to give that match a 9 out of 10. Randy Orton get an interview for his championship Intercontinental title match. Tajiri versus Jonathan Coachman, who I actually met in person that year, later in 2004 with my brothers. Anyway, it wasn't that great of a match, but it wasn't a bad match either. Coach actually could show he could wrestle. So basically that match is going to get a 6 out of 10. The 2-on-1 handicap match with Chris Jericho versus Christian versus Trish Stratus. This was one of my favorite feuds. Mostly because I was entertained by it and it was brilliant. We had Trish Stratus, who was in a love triangle with Chris Jericho and Christian, only to have her betray Chris Jericho at at WrestleMania 20. And Chris Jericho finally got his revenge on both of them. So that match will get an 8 out of 10. Eugene wanders into the women's locker room. Classic Eugene. He runs into Gail Kim and Molly Holly, who were half naked. Chris Benoit returns to his hometown. He's basically documenting his return as champion. Women's championship match, Victoria versus Lita. I respect both of them, but at the time, it was a pretty alright match, but they could have gotten a lot better. So I'm going to give that match a 7 out of 10. Here comes my favorite match on the whole card. Hardcore match for the Intercontinental Championship match. Randy Orton versus Cass Jack. These two literally fought it out everywhere. I'll never forget when Randy Orton goes for the RKO, he gets dropped on the thumbtacks. That is shocking. Triple H's interview before his match. Number 1 contenders for the tag team title match. Hurricane versus Rosie versus Law Resistance. The only thing I remember about that match was Eugene coming out there and distracting Law Resistance and costing them the win. So that match is going to get a 6 out of 10. Edge versus Kane. It was a pretty solid match on the card. I will give a 7 out of 10. Here comes the main event, the final encounter, triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship match. Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. It was a pretty cool main event. It was in Chris Benoit's hometown. Triple H and Shawn Michaels were trying to sell the feud. Overall, the match will get an 8 out of 10. Extras includes the promos, the final encounter, no holds barred, 2-on-1 handicap match. These were the 3 promos they used for the pay-per-view. On Saturday Night Heat that night, they had Ric Flair's interview, Law Resistance in Eric Bischoff's office, which they were demanding to have a match for the pay-per-view. Val Venis versus Matt Hardy, which was the bonus match for that night. Post-match interviews, Molly Holly versus Gail Kim and Mick Foley. Each dropping on Garrison Cade and and coach after coach's match. Chris Benoit on Raw, April 19, 2004. That's all I have for that Backlash. Overall, it was a pretty cool pay-per-view. My favorite match of all time was the Randy Orton versus Mick Foley Cactus Jack match. That match stole the card for me. Overall, I'll give this pay-per-view an 8 out of 10. It was a pretty solid pay-per-view. Thanks for watching my review and take care.